All right, so I was doing everything right, posting consistently, fixing my thumbnails, rewriting my titles, and my views were still flat. Not declining, not growing, just stuck. And I kept blaming myself, my content, my niche, my consistency, until I pulled up my analytics and I found something that changed how I think about YouTube completely. YouTube wasn't showing my videos to the wrong people because my content was bad. It was testing my videos on the wrong audience from the very first impression. And once I understood what was actually happening and I fixed it, everything changed. Stay with me. Here's what most creators don't know about how YouTube decides who sees your video first. When you upload, YouTube doesn't show your video to everyone. It picks a small initial test group, a sample audience, and watches what they do. Do they click? Do they watch? Do they keep watching all the way through? Based on those early signals, YouTube decides whether to push your video further or pull back distribution entirely. That decision happens fast, usually within the first few hours, and most creators never know it's even happening. Here is the part that took me a long time to figure out. YouTube builds that initial test group based on signals from your previous videos. It looks at who watched your past content, who clicked, who engaged, and it uses that pattern to decide who to test your next video on first. That's your test audience. If your previous videos attracted the wrong audience, people who clicked but didn't watch, or watched but never engaged, YouTube keeps sending your new videos to that same wrong audience every single upload. The test group is polluted and you have no idea because nothing in your dashboard tells you that this is actually happening. For me, the problem showed up in a specific number. My browse click-through rate was strong. My existing audience, they were clicking, but my suggested click-through rate was stuck under 3%. That gap told me everything. My existing audience, they were responding, but cold audiences, complete strangers seeing my video for the first time, they just weren't clicking. And the reason that they weren't clicking is that YouTube was putting my videos in front of people who had no reason to care about what I was teaching. The test group YouTube built from my history didn't match the audience my content was actually built for. This is not just a creator problem. I see this constantly with business owners who are using YouTube to try to grow their business, or at least they should be trying to grow using YouTube, but they post a video about their product, their service, or their expertise. The first few videos attract a random mix of viewers. YouTube reads that mixed signal and starts testing every future video on that same scattered audience. The content never finds its real viewer, its real audience. And because of that, the channel never grows. And the business owner concludes that YouTube doesn't work for them, when the real problem is that YouTube never found their actual customer in the first place. So if you are a business owner and you're trying to use YouTube to generate leads and get in front of real potential customers without running those expensive paid ads, I've been there, I know that. We put together a free workshop that walks through exactly how to fix this from the ground up. If you'd like to get access to that, just comment leads down below and we'll send you the link. This literally will show you how we were able to flip this on its head and start getting steady, warm leads every single day, every single week. If you want to get access to that, just comment leads down below and I'll send it to you. Because the fix starts before you ever hit upload. And most business owners and creators are skipping the step that tells YouTube who the real audience actually is. There are 3 signs that YouTube is testing your videos on the wrong audience right now. And I'm going to give you those, so pay attention. Sign number 1, your suggested click-through rate is consistently under 3% even on videos you know are strong. If cold audiences aren't clicking, it means the people YouTube is putting your video in front of just doesn't recognize themselves in your title or your thumbnail. That's an audience match problem, not a content quality problem. Really important. Because YouTube is running your test on the wrong room. That's what that means. Sign number 2, your average view duration is strong on browse traffic, but weak on suggested traffic. Open your analytics and compare your average view duration between browse viewers and suggested viewers. If browse viewers are watching 60 or 70% of your video, but suggested viewers are dropping off in the first 30 seconds, the audience are completely different. That's a problem. Your existing audience, they know what you teach and they stick around. The cold audience YouTube is testing you on has no context for your content and leaves immediately. We need to fix that. That pattern locks your distribution in place because every failed suggested test confirms to YouTube that strangers don't respond to your videos. All right, sign number 3, your subscriber count is flat or declining even when your views are up. Views without subscribers means the people watching are not finding enough value to come back. That is almost an audience match problem every single time. The right viewer, the one your content was actually built for, they subscribe almost automatically because your video solves something that they were actively looking for. The wrong viewer watches, gets some value, but they disappear. If views are climbing but your subscribers are not moving, YouTube is consistently finding the wrong room. All right, Scott, how do you actually fix this? Well, I've got 3 things for you to do. Number 1, rewrite your next 3 titles specifically for the viewer your content is built for, not a general audience, not anyone who might find it interesting. This is the exact person who has the exact problem that your video solves. The more precisely your title speaks to one specific person, the more accurately YouTube can identify who to put your video in front of. A title that tries to appeal to everyone ends up in front of no one, or at least a very, very small amount of people. A title that speaks directly to that person is going to resonate so much more, from the title to the thumbnail and then exactly what you say in your first 30 seconds. That's where you're going to be able to get YouTube to understand who your audience is. And then when you post a new video, guess what? They're going to show it to a similar audience. And that's exactly what you want. All right, number 2. Go back and look at your 3 best performing videos by suggested click-through rate, not total views, suggested click-through rate specifically. Why? Because those are the videos where YouTube found your right audience. This is where the cold audience is, but the right cold audience for you and your audience. Look at what those titles have in common. Look at what the thumbnails have in common. That pattern is the signal that YouTube responded to. Take note of that. Build your next 5 titles around that pattern, and you start retraining YouTube on who your real audience actually is. All right, 3rd, post consistently for the next 30 uploads without switching topics or targeting. This is extremely important. The biggest reason YouTube gets stuck testing creators on the wrong audience is inconsistency in what the channel is actually about. Every time you post something that's off topic, YouTube has to recalibrate on who it tested to. A channel that is clearly and consistently about one thing for one person gives YouTube enough signal to build an accurate test group. So I can hear you now, well, Scott, 30 videos, that's a lot of videos. Yes and no. If you do it consistently, 1 per week, it'll be here before you know it. And just know that every video you are recalibrating to retrain it. So this way here, your test audience continues to get a little bit bigger, but also a little bit more concentrated on the right audience. This is going to be enough to retrain the pattern if your titles and content are all pointed at the same viewer. YouTube was not testing my videos on the wrong audience because it was trying to hurt my channel. It was doing the best it could with the signal my previous content gave it. When I gave it a better signal, clearer titles, more consistent targeting, content built for one specific viewer, YouTube found the right room. And the right room, well, it converts. But I also want to say it's not just about having videos that get views, it's the right views. And I can't stress that enough. We don't need to go viral, especially if we have a business and we're trying to get people, the right people, to see what we have to offer. And if you want to understand exactly how YouTube decides the size of that initial test group in the first place, and why some channels get much bigger first audiences than others, I shot a video right here that breaks it all down so you know how to create the best test audience, and after every upload, it will continue to get better and better. Watch that video next, and I'll see you there.